Hello. Well, today I'm going to talk about Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man, which I saw Friday, or no, Sunday. Yeah, it came out Friday, March 6th, and I saw it on Sunday, the 8th. Obviously, by the time you're watching this, the film is, I'm pretty sure, out of theaters now for the limited release that it had. Yeah, next week the movie will be out on Netflix, but I don't have Netflix, and so since the film was playing near me, I figured I'd see it. And also, I want to just say I've never watched a single episode of Peaky Blinders. I had Netflix for about a couple years, but most of the time I didn't watch too much, like 2017 to 2019 or early 2020. I kind of just would watch a few things here and there, but there I found not much of worthwhile during that time. Um, and it never occurred to me to ever watch Peaky Blinders. And here in America, you can only get the first two seasons on DVD. And if you want to have the complete series now of all six seasons, you have to have basically a region free player, which obviously at this moment in time I do not have. But one day, hopefully, I will. And when that happens, I'm sure I will go about getting the complete series. Though with the film out, maybe there'll also be a complete box set of uh, the show and the movie. But who knows? Uh, but yeah, since Netflix owns the American rights to distribution, and that's likely why only the first two seasons of the show are on DVD here. Where over in Britain, and I think maybe overall Europe, physical media is still loved and bought. Or here in America, I mean, yeah, there are people like me who love to buy Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff, but I guess the overall majority are not super into that anymore. But anyway, on to the actual film and my overall thoughts. I'm going to just give a general rundown of what all typically happens because the little brief summaries on like IMDb as of now and stuff like that, they're so short that it's kind of doesn't really tell you much. So, with all that out of the way, Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man, follows the events of the show, which again I don't know too much about beyond the fact that Peaky Blinders are, is a gang. It shows Tommy Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy. He is in exile, writing a book about his life, all the while he is haunted by spirits of the past, such as his dead daughter. His sister Ada, played by Sophie Rundle, visits him and tries to come back to save his, help his gypsy son, Duke Shelby, played by Barry Keoghan, who is the new leader of the Peaky Blinders, as they stole various guns, specifically Lewis machine guns, that are intended for the front lines from a recent blown out munitions factory, which is actually based on, real events where the Luke, the Luke Waffle, yeah, the Germans. I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce that because clearly right now my pronunciation of certain words is just going to fail me. But they bombed various munitions factories and obviously other places in Britain, but this specific event absolutely happened. So it's a mixture of fictional with reality. Obviously, World War II happened, so it makes sense that it's 1940 during the film that we basically have some real events going on in the midst of this fictional story. Um, Duke is also getting involved with John Beckett, a British man who is a Nazi sympathizer and has plans to help swing World War II in Germany's favor by bringing over millions of counterfeit British pounds and dividing it between four gangs in Britain, Peaky Blinders included. And John Beckett is played by Tim Roth, who is a phenomenal actor, as is Cillian Murphy and uh, Barry Keoghan. And Sophie Rundle, I haven't really seen too much of her work, but she was really good in this. Um, so Tim Roth just does a very good bad guy. He just does. After their arrival of Culo, I don't know that the pronunciation of that name. It was only said very few times, maybe once. But it wasn't a name constantly repeated. But she is played by Rebecca Ferguson, who is the twin sister of Zelda, Duke's mother. And basically he was in a relationship with a gypsy woman before World War One broke out, and then he went and fought, and then Duke was born, and then he hasn't really had anything to do with him afterwards. But she comes and talks to him, and he convinces Tommy to return to Birmingham to try and get his son out of the deal he's made with Beckett. Stephen Graham, who was on the show, he returns as Hayden Stagg. But I don't really want to talk too much about his role, because then we'd be getting into spoilers, and since this video comes out a week before the entire world will get to see it, I don't think people who are fond of the show who might see this would like that. So he's in it, and he does a good job, but Stephen Graham overall is a really good actor. And overall, I like this film. It's a very good movie. It makes me want to watch the show, but hopefully one day I'll be able to get the box set. And I mean, I've seen some kind of bootlegs and all, but I don't know how good and functional those are. I've seen some some people are the discs were good, and then some say, the discs weren't good and everything. And then of course those were those were the kind that you can't, it's on eBay or something, you can't return or anything. So that would really suck. You might get your money back, but you'll never be able to just send it back to the sender, they won't accept it. I guess you could anyway, but yeah. And I know there's, people are just go to a pirate site and watch it that way. Well, some pirate sites aren't all that great. There's a lot of pop-ups and stuff, and I guess it really just depends where you go, because even some of the more reliable ones, they have issues. So yeah, I hope to be able to just get the whole box set, and that the BBC will have the complete series out for America that is not just walked to Region 2 or Region A. Yeah. Or B, I'm sorry. Because obviously America is Region A for Blu-ray and Region 1 for DVD. Even if it was just only on DVD, all right, I'll get the DVDs. But I'm like, I also don't want to start collecting a show on DVD that I can get the first two, but then that's it. That would be kind of dumb, because if I like the show, then I want to watch more, and if I don't have the ability to do so, at least not in the foreseeable future, that's going to be very unfortunate. Because I'm kind of just left hanging, like this is good, and then it just kind of stops because I can't watch the rest. And Netflix, again, they don't really have too much that I'm really interested in watching now. And I think if you're going to subscribe to a streaming service like Netflix, you should probably be watching stuff on a fairly regular basis, as opposed to, yeah, I'll watch one show. Maybe there's a movie or two also that I like, and maybe I don't own, but I can, and I want to watch it again. Make sure I still like it, and then I'll buy it on DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah, it's just like, if you're gonna have a streaming service, it better have something that, like, stuff that you can never find anywhere else. You can't buy the physical copies of it. You can't stream it anywhere else. If it's not on normal TV, like cable or whatever. So yeah, unless it is streaming somewhere that you can find that I have, like Amazon or something, which I know Netflix has the rights, but who knows? Maybe at some point someone else will get the rights, and if so, maybe then I'll watch it. But if I do watch it, whenever I do, it'll be basically like Star Wars, where I saw the original trilogy first, so I just saw the end, and then I saw later on the beginning, like with the prequels. So that's how I'm gonna view Peaky Blinders. This was the end, and then the 6 seasons is obviously the beginning. And yeah, I really liked this film. Everybody was good. The ending was good. I think people who like this show, they'll probably be satisfied with how it ends. You know, it's good, and yeah, very very uh, intense in parts. But with a show like this or a film like this, from a show like that, I think that's probably to be expected, because even though I haven't really watched the show, I've seen a few clips here and there that are, it's really just violent. And I'm like, wow, this looks really good. I wish I knew the complete context, but it looks good. I'm pretty sure Tom Hardy is on the show, which is cool. But yeah, BBC America does not play this, so have that. If anybody has that, can't watch it. But yeah, and part of the reason I didn't watch it also when I had Netflix was because that's a show I heard a lot about. A lot of hype and everything, and there are people who even to this day have yet never watched Breaking Bad or anything like The Sopranos, because some shows are just so acclaimed and so talked about that it gets talked up a lot, and then there's a bit of a fear that if I watch such a show or a movie, it can be a movie too, it'll just be disappointing. Like I don't enjoy it like so many others, and so that was kind of part of the reason. It's like I feel like I would be a bit disappointed. Like there's so much talked about, and then I'm kind of like, eh. But maybe I will find it somewhere and then watch it. But I hope this is a pretty good video. Not very long, at least not as long as it could be. But yeah, and I'll also tell an example of a film that I saw that was kind of like that, where people kind of hyped it up, and then I watched it, and I just didn't think the hype was, worth it. Again, this can apply to a TV show too, but my siblings all told me, oh, Top Gun, phenomenal movie, you'll love it. It's phenomenal. It's like give me the impression like it'll be the greatest movie I could ever hope to watch in my whole life, and it wasn't. I think it's a fine movie. Soundtrack is excellent, but I didn't get what they're all talking about. Like it wasn't phenomenal. Like I kind of expected nothing but greatness, and I didn't get that. I kind of think maybe for me to really like it, perhaps I would have had to have been around in the '80s, which I wasn't. I've been around in the '90s. So maybe that's part of it. I could be wrong on that, but I know they were all around in the '80s when it came out. So for them, it was amazing to watch and everything. So that's kind of my thoughts. But regarding that, I mean, fine movie, great soundtrack, but having watched The Immortal Man, it does definitely pique my interest in watching Peaky Blinders more. I always had that interest, but again, that kind of fear of, that I mean, Top Gun's just a good example that could just really just point to. I mean, there's others, but that was just the one that just always sticks out. There's like a show or a film, like that's a movie that it was so hyped that I watched. I'm kind of like a bit underwhelmed, and watching the film, I really liked it, and I hope to watch the show someday. So BBC, you guys, please, seriously, don't have to ever watch this, but on the off chance someone does, please make the complete series available for Region A for like Blu-ray, or Region 1 for DVD. Please give the Americans and also Canadians and Mexicans and everybody in Region A land, both North and South America and American territories, Japan and Taiwan, and I think Korea, a few other like some South Asian countries. Please let us be able to just have the complete series and not just have it region locked. Because I've talked about region locking, and that really sucks. I understand it because of, when it comes to something overseas, the distributor is not always the same. Sometimes you have to make deals for different distributions for a show or a movie to go across the world. But yeah, Netflix pretty much makes sure that stuff like that can never happen because they're not super fond of physical media. And that's just a reality. I mean, it's not something I'm saying that's a lie or being exaggerating anything. They're just not really into the various movies and shows they have exclusively on their streaming service to get physical releases. I hope this film does get a physical release, and I hope it's available region, in every region. Same with the complete series. But yeah, I guess that's kind of enough of my ranting about it. But yeah, good movie, really great. I mean, I've got a feeling if I ever watch the whole show, then I'm able to watch this film again, I have a feeling I'll probably really like it more. So that's something. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great day. Hope you all having You've all had a great week. Hope you all have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys next time. Please take care.